Okay, so I'm Ryan Tyson. This is my final project from IES 316, and what I chose to do is something with music because I'm a music minor and I'm a musician, but for me it was stepping outside of my comfort zone because I've never written anything before. I've really never, I've kind of like messed around. At church I play with the worship band and they give us sheets with chords on them, but I've never, I'll kind of mess around with the chords and improvise a little bit, but I've never completely written something from scratch. So this is different. And what this is it's kind of, well, I was really inspired by the chapter 2 story of Octavia in Framing Education as Art, or The Octopus Has a Good Day by Jessica Hoffman Davis, which we read in class. But in chapter 2 there's a story of Octavia, who's like the fictitious little girl that she writes about in the book. And what happens is it's Octavia's first day of kindergarten, and she goes in thinking, oh, this is great, I love to draw, and there are paintings all over the walls and everything looks so much fun, and I can't wait to meet the other kids. And what happens is the teacher has them all draw pictures of their families, and so for her this is great because she gets to draw and kind of like unleash her creativity, and the teacher's saying good things about everyone's drawing, so she's really inspired. And then the teacher gets to her and she's saying, oh, it was really nice, and she starts asking her questions about her drawing, and then it'll be like, who is this and who is this, and she'll write, mom and dad, and that's kind of when things start going downhill for Octavia because the teacher writes on her art, so it kind of like defaces it a little bit. And that one kind of just struck me, so I decided to write a song about it. So the song is kind of Octavia's creativity, I guess, and it has its own theme. So you'll hear that at the beginning, and it'll get repeated, and you'll kind of hear a theme that's like the teacher's voice. It's a lot more minor, and it kind of gets more regimented as it goes along, and yeah, I guess you can just see it. I'll explain a couple of other things afterward, and that would be it. So that was it. And I don't know if you noticed, but Octavia's theme just kind of slowly became a little more and more dissonant and troubled until eventually the teacher kind of turned her into just monotoned, kind of a march thing, which is really sad and depressing, I know. But one of the vocabulary words that struck me in class was veracity, and I kind of wanted to roll with that because it's the idea, it's kind of like devotion to truth is what the dictionary definition was. It was one of the words that we found in the book and we were talking about it. And I thought that was interesting because I think that we were saying that beauty can be truth, and that doesn't always mean it's pretty. So there's a difference between something being beautiful and something being pretty. And so I was kind of going for something that's not necessarily pretty, but truthful. And also kind of a call for change. So that's what I was going for. I would also say that this relates to Nick Hernandez, who visited our class, and he was telling us that there's, for freedom you need discipline. And that's something that I definitely can understand while doing this project, because you need to have a lot of discipline to be able to understand what you're doing when you're writing a piece of music. You need to know all about the theory, and I realized, although I've taken several music theory classes in college, how much more you need to be an effective composer. I mean, this took me a long time, but yeah, it was interesting. And I can definitely also relate to Nick when he was talking about how he would be in the studio and he would just kind of like lose track of time going for hours, because that's kind of what happened to me. I started working on this at like, I don't know, it was like 11 at night, and it kept going till 2 in the morning, and I thought it was midnight. But a little similarity, I guess. But it was also interesting because working on it in the practice room was not effective at school, because you, as an artist, you kind of have like a doubt for yourself, I guess. You're kind of self-conscious. So when I was in the practice room, I was often doubting myself, and I didn't really want anyone else in the other practice rooms to hear me. So that was interesting. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the piece, and I don't know if I'd say it's finished yet. I'd really like to maybe change it a little bit and make it longer and add to it, but for the sake of the presentation and getting it done and having it within our presentation time limit, it is how long it is now. So, thank you.